The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. They call it Hot Atlanta for a reason, and on this May 21st, on Friday night last night, the Atlanta Braves and Philadelphia Phillies gave you a reason why. The Phillies got on the board first, as these two teams are fighting to become a factor in their divisional races in the National League. Gary Matthews smashed a two-run, 436-foot bomb to center field to give the Phillies a 2-0 lead in the first inning. Atlanta chipped back for one in the bottom of the frame with Dale Murphy with a sac fly. The Phillies went up 3-1 on an Evonde Jesus ground ball in the second. Then again, Atlanta chipped away. Claudell Washington single in the fifth made it 3-2, and then the Phillies thought they had it won. Gary Maddox and Mike Schmidt with solo shots to make it 5-2 in the eighth, and then Dale Murphy a solo shot to make it 5-3, and Jerry Royster singled home Bob Horner to make it 5-4. Philadelphia again gave themselves an insurance run. Gary Maddox scored Evonde Jesus to make it 6-4. But the power bats of the Braves came in the ninth. Rafael Ramirez with a solo shot to make it 6-5. Bob Watson with a solo shot to tie the game. And then Bruce Benedict singled home Rufiano Linares to win it 7-6. Atlanta and Philadelphia today on Retro Sports Network. You have to forgive me for a minute. I usually do one of these cough drop type things. So before the game, I didn't have it completely done before the game started. Welcome to the first of two games to be played on Saturday. Tomorrow at noontime, we'll have California and Detroit. But today, it's the 19-19 Philadelphia Phillies, who are 8 games behind the Montreal Expos, against the 19-20 Atlanta Braves, who are 5.5 games in third place behind the Los Angeles Dodgers. About what you would expect from these two teams. Mike Krukow will go for the Phillies, and Larry McWilliams will go for Atlanta. On another warm, sticky afternoon in the Peachtree City, 85 degrees, winds at 7 miles an hour, and they're blowing from right to left.
Play ball!
And so as we take you out to the field, and I call him the chat. How you doing, Robbie? These two teams, if they're going to be a factor in their divisional races, need to do something right about now. Especially the Phillies. They're 9 out. The Expos, as I said, have a 6-game lead. So even St. Louis is going to have some trouble trying to get back in this race. But as we reach the latter stages of May, winning is now important. If the Braves are going to match their real-life National League Western Division title, they can't be futzing around 500 much longer. Larry McWilliams will go today for the Braves. He did not have a great year. This is his second and last start, and notice on the screen here that he is done with Atlanta on June 29th. The former Pittsburgh Pirate went 5 innings a week ago today on a Saturday against St. Louis. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He struck out 4 and turned his 3rd loss of the year. In 27 and a third innings, he's allowed 31 hits, 1 home run, 11 runs all earned. He walked 7 and struck out 15. So the Braves are kind of desperate here. They really need McWilliams to do something. And if you look at the real numbers, his ERA was 6.21, his real whip was 1.912, and his batting average against was 3.29. This does not bode well for the Braves this afternoon. Now the lineup he'll face. It's Bob Dernier will lead off in right field. Pete Rose will hit second and play first. Mike Schmidt, the third baseman, will bat third. Gary Matthews, the Sarge, is in left. He'll clean up Bo Diaz behind the plate. Gary Maddox, the center fielder, will bat 6. Manny Trio, the second baseman, will bat 7. Ivan De Jesus, the shortstop, will bat 8th. Mike Rucco is on the mound and should go 120 pitches. Joe Torre's kind of configuring where his defense should be. Dale Murphy's in left today at 3 and a 4. He should be in center. Rhett Butler a 6 and a 4 in center, and Claudell Washington a 4 and an 8 in right. Bob Horner is a 3 at third. Rafael Ramirez a 9 at short. Glenn Hubbard 8 at second. Chris Chambliss a 7 at first, and Biff Pocoroba behind the plate a 3 and a 2. How you doing, Earl? Good to have you along. And this was the last time I tried to do this with a cough drop in my mouth. So Bob Dernier at 270, 4 homers and 14 RBI. As we get started, 85 degrees. Winds, it's clear. Winds blowing right to left at 7. How you doing, Seth? Good to have you along. McWilliams deals, and Dernier takes ball 4. That's how this one starts. And that brings up Pete Rose at 292. A homer and a 15 RBI. McWilliams is already in trouble. Throw to first, and Dernier is back. So now he's got to concentrate on Rose, and that's going to be an issue. Dernier goes. The throw from Pocoroba is not in time, and Dernier has a good chance to steal third. That's his 8th steal of the season. This is game 39 for Philadelphia and 40 for Atlanta. The Braves are at the quarter pole. Throw back to second. Hubbard gets it. Dernier is back. 1-0 pitch to Rose. There's a little bunter. Pocoroba throws to Hubbard covering, and Rose laid it down perfectly. Not sure if he was trying to sacrifice there, but it goes down on the card, 2-4. Dernier on third for Mike Schmidt at 341, 11 homers, 26 RBI. McWilliams deals, and there's a base hit in the left field. Dernier will score, and it's already 1-0 Philadelphia, 1 out. And that brings up Gary Matthews at 295, 5 homers and 15 RBI. So the monkey threw the coffee bean in this game, huh? Yep. That's exciting, quick. McWilliams delivers. There goes Schmidt to throw down to Hubbard, and they got him. So a swing and a miss, and Schmidt gets caught stealing. I bet that didn't happen too much. And so it's an 0-1 count to Gary Matthews. Clinton actually can hear me for the Marcel Marceau and Klein tomorrow afternoon. It's California and Detroit. Pitch to Matthews. Fly ball to right. Washington comes in and makes the catch to retire the tie. A run on a hit and no errors. After 1, it's the Phillies 1, the Braves coming up. And pitching for Philadelphia is Mike Rucco, and my goodness, has he had a good start to the year. 5-2 with a 2.05 ERA. This will be his 9th start. 61 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 56 hits, 20 runs, only 14 earned. He's walked 18 and struck out 30. He went last Sunday against the San Francisco Giants. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5 to move to 5-2 on the year. And the lineup that Mike Rucco will face will be Brett Butler leading off and playing center field. Phillies are playing a bunch, so I will not. Glenn Mother Hubbard will bat second. Claudell Washington will hit third. Dale Murphy cleans up. Bob Horner will bat fifth. Chris Chambliss 6th. Pocoroba, the catcher, 7th. Ramirez 8th, and Larry McWilliams, who threw 12 pitches, will hit 9th. Defensively for the Phillies, Gary Matthews is a 5-6 in left. Gary Maddox is a 10-6 in center. Bob Dernier 5-4 in right. We're going to say that Schmidt's pretty good at third. DeJesus is 6 in short. Manny Trio at 10 at second. And Rose still not a bad fielder at 6 at first. Bo Diaz a 9 and a 4. So Kruko's ready, and so is Butler. And there's strike 3. So a 3-2 pitch, and Butler was watching it all the way. Schmidt, of course, is at 10, 1 out here. Yep, the Sarge. So, Seth, now to answer your question, I like the deal for San Diego. I think they have enough prospects in place that they can contend in the National League West. And I thought they were going to get Harper. They might not like Manny Machado's attitude after a while, but I think they know the West they can contend out there, and why not go for it? Here's Hubbard at 305, 3 homers, 21 RBI. Kruko delivers, and there's a fly ball to center. Mannix has it. 2 out. As I mentioned, a hot day, 300 million. 300 million. Not billion. Here's Claudell Washington at 294, 7 homers and 15 RBI. Pitch from Mike. There's a ground ball to DeJesus, who has a long throw to Rose, and the Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, it's Philadelphia 1, Atlanta nothing. And so the Larry McWilliams saga continues. It'll be Bo Diaz, Gary Maddox, and Manny Trio. Bo at 275, 2 homers and 20 RBI. The only player worth $300 billion was Babe Ruth. And not even he got that. Diaz hits this one into left center, and Murphy will kind of watch it go. That is over the scoreboard in left center, and the Phillies go up 2-0. And so for Bo Diaz, that's his 3rd of the year. Let's watch it again. McWilliams hung that one, and Diaz, that wind is going right to left, and they call it the chop shop for a reason. And that ball rocketed right out of here, and it's 2-0 Phillies. So here's Gary Maddox at 329, 3 homers and 15 RBI. McWilliams delivers, ground ball to the middle, Hubbard over to Chambers, 3 out. For the first out, McWilliams in a world of hurt here early. And he must have pitched for the Pirates to end the year, or the beginning of the year. I'm not sure which. Here's Manny Trio, and he continues to slump at 203 with 8 RBI. Pitch, fly ball to right. Washington in the corner makes the catch. 2 out for Ivan DeJesus, who does not have a pitcher. DeJesus at 259 with 14 RBI. Oh, Dave, I'm still sorry to hear that. Pitch to DeJesus, got him. He swung on and missed an 0-2. And so Atlanta gets out of that with only a run on a hit. After 1.5, it's the Phillies 2, the Braves nothing. And so Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and Chris Chambliss do up for Atlanta against Kruko. You talk about, today being a modern home run game, where it's not unusual for pitchers to give them up in buckets. Mike Kruko, in 208 real innings, only allowed 8 in 1982, and only 1 so far in 62 innings. Murphy, hitting 289, 11 homers, and 30 RBI. Here's the pitch. Kruko got him. He swung on and missed an 0-2 fastball. So 1 out for Horner. I forgot what games I selected for next week, but you're going to get 4, including a doubleheader. An honest-to-goodness doubleheader next Thursday. So here's Horner. That's between Toronto and Baltimore, by the way. Horner at 285, 8 homers and 27 RBI. Pitch from Kruko. It's a fly ball to right. Dernier has it for the out. 2 out. And Kruko right now is cruising right along. Here's Chambliss at 303, 5 homers and 25 RBI. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. Popped up. DeJesus looks like he's going to get it, and he does. And so the Braves are down in order. After 2, it's the Phillies 2, the Braves nothing. So it'll be Krukow, Dernier, and Rose. And Mike is hitting .222 on the year with no homers or RBI. Tomorrow night on this channel, the Ron Juckett Show returns, and Ron's guest. I hate talking about myself as a third person. How you doing, Dave Little? My guest will be the one, the only ID Jester. Speaking of Dave Little, there'll be an ID show on Tuesday, and ID will be my guest tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, right here on Retro Sports Network. Pitch from McWilliams is a ground ball base hit in the hole and left, and so Krukow gets a single. We're not looking at a cardiac game right here, so the first 9 batters for McWilliams, 2 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned on the homer by Bo Diaz. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. The walk was Bob Dernier's first time up. Here goes Eddie Hope for Vermont. Well, you know, yeah, I should be looking forward to that. Well, you know, he's an Ohio State fan. What can I say? Pitch to Dernier. It's a fly ball to left. Murphy in the corner will watch it go foul. And the count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes. As you're saying deservedly nice things to Dave Gardner, who's in my thoughts and prayers as well. Keep Al, Red Sox fan, in your thoughts and prayers. We hope that Al will be up to being with us at some point, but not immediately, and he's going to need some time. And when he's ready to tell you what happened, he will. Here's the pitch to Dernier. Got him! He swung on and missed a 2-2 pitch, fastball, and that's the second strikeout for McWilliams. So runner on for Rose. Krukow on first. Rose, he sacrificed bunted in the first. Not sure that that's what he meant to do, but that's what he did. Pitch to Pete, and that's a liner in the right that can go all the way to the wall. Krukow will hold at third. Rose is on second with a double, as Claudell Washington got a late start on that. He should have been off on contact, and he really wasn't. And so now runners on second and third for Schmidt, who singled and drove in Dernier in the first. Yep. Let's see. I'm just kidding, Dave. I'm just kidding. As a Michigan fan, Clinton supports Southern football, not 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So by Southern, Mr. Park, does that mean the Bear Bryant days of Alabama? The Nick Saban days of Alabama? The old ball coach at Florida? Or all the fun at Miami? Yep, I will let him know that, Robbie. So here's Schmidt, as I said, had the single, and he's going to get another couple RBIs here as that one bloops in front of Murphy. Krukow will score. Rose does the smart thing and hold because that ball was shallow. And it's 3-0. So here comes Gary Matthews, who's 0 for 1. Matthews is on a 6-game hitting streak. Pitch to Gary, fly ball to left. Back goes Murphy. He's got it. Rose will score. Give Matthews a sac fly 7, and it's 4-0. And Joe Torre sitting there with a hat kind of unbent over the top of his eyebrows, holding that double cup of coffee, watching the proceedings, and just kind of shaking his head. Bo Diaz, who had that monster home run in the second, is up. McWilliams delivers. Schmidt dances off at first. Liner right back to Larry, who makes the catch to retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Phillies. After 2.5, it's the Philadelphia 4, Atlanta nothing. Bobby Bowes, Florida State. Charlie Ward, always loved watching him. Great basketball player, too. So it'll be Pocarova, Rafael Ramirez, and Larry McWilliams. Biff is at 283, a homer and 5 RBI. And Kruko's pitch is a ground ball to Trio over the rows. There we out. And so, yep, that is Southern Fried Football, Bobby Bowden's of Florida State Seminoles. Here's Rafael Ramirez. Rafi's at 222 or 221 because I can read. 3 homers and 14 RBI. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Schmidt over the rows for the out. So Kruko is cruising right along here. He's retired to first 8. And Larry McWilliams is 0 for 3 on the year. Pitch from Mike. Got him! He looked at a 1-2 pitch, and it's the 3rd straight bagel for Mr. Kruko. After 3, it's the Phillies 4, the Braves nothing. Yeah, I can respect Bowden now. Some of those games against Miami were just classics. So, I mean, Maddox, Trio, and DeJesus. And because I like Clinton and don't want to irritate him too much, I'm not going to mention anything about being a preseason favorite 4 or 5 years and losing one of their first 2 games. That would be cruel for me to do. It's just not done, bless my heart. Maddox is 0 for 1. And McWilliams will let this one get launched. That is absolutely launched in the left center. Murphy just sat there in a lawn chair and watched it go, and that's 5 now. Nothing for Philadelphia. Let's watch it again. I don't know what McWilliams delivered, but it was FedEx into the seats. And I think Clinton left after that, as a matter of fact, Dave. And so Joe Torre will go talk to Larry McWilliams as Manny Trio steps to the plate. And McWilliams says, "Get out of here, I'm fine." But I would venture to guess that Rick Camp. Yeah, try not to burn the bullpen. Rick Camp is starting to warm. Atlanta only used Bedrosian. Look at the size of this bullpen. There's only 5 people available out of that pen. Pitch from McWilliams, and Trio sends that one down to Chandler. Goes to first for the out. So Ivan DeJesus struck out his first time up, one of the 2 by Larry. Already at 60 pitches. The bad news for Joe Torre is that McWilliams just hit to end the 3rd, and so a long time before you get to him, DeJesus. Ground ball to Hubbard, who makes a fantastic diving step to his left to get DeJesus. The 2 out for Kruko, and Hubbard gets credit for the nice play. Good sized crowd here in Atlanta. Who's the spot starter? McWilliams, I think, would be the spot starter. They must get rained out on. Oh no, Negro goes Sunday, Daly on Monday, Mailer, and then Preston Hanna. So McWilliams would be the spot starter. Kruko singled his first time up and scored. 5-0 Phillies, bottom of the 4th. Modern day would call him the number 5 starter. Well, I think it actually was a spot start. He only threw 37 innings on the real year, so, but you're right. Fly ball to center. Butler is there, and that retires the side. So another run and a hit for Philadelphia after 3.5. This isn't going to be a long outing for McWilliams, but he's trying to hang in. 5-0 Phillies. And so top of the lineup, Brett Butler. So Mike Kruko, a perfect 9 for 9. He's got 3 innings pitched. He's made 3 strikeouts. He's thrown 33 pitches. Like he's on some sort of roll or something like that. Butler, no, I just can't do it. I was going to bunt, but that would be tacky of me. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, foul, first base side. So the count is 2-2 to Butler. Kruko's ready. And there's a little number down to third. Schmidt better hurry. Long throw over the Rose. And they got him. Oh ho! Oh, Torrey doesn't like that a bit. But there's no replay, and there never will be in a game that I do. And so he is called out. And so 1 out for Glenn Hubbard, who's 0 for 1. He's throwing batting practice. That is true. And it'll be Dernier, Rose, and Schmidt in the 5th. Hubbard, base hit into right. So the Braves finally get a base runner. So Krukow retires the first 10 men he faced, and so that's why they didn't want Butler to bunt on for a hit to break up a no-hitter. That's tacky. Here's Claudell Washington, he's 0 for 1. Grounded out to short. And strikes out. He swung on and missed a 1-2 pitch. So that's the 4th for Krukow. And here's Dale Murphy with 2 out. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Murphy walks. So Krukow, who was in mastery of control the first 3 innings, has 2 on and 2 out here for Bob Horner, who was 0 for 1. The pitch, runners go, ball 4. And so the Braves have them loaded for Chris Chambliss here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 out, Hubbard on 3rd, Murph on 2nd, and Horner on 1st. So Krukow on a warm day here in Atlanta, 85 degrees. Here's the pitch, runners go, pop up left side, Matthews has it. And that retires the side. The Braves strand 3. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 4, it's Philadelphia 5, Atlanta nothing. So Bob Dernier, Larry McWilliams has thrown 66 pitches to 18 batters, 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 home runs, 5 runs, all learned to walk, and 2 strikeouts. Great numbers if you're playing beer keg softball. Dernier is 0 for 1. He has struck out, walked, stole a base, and scored. Williams delivers, and Dernier sends that one in the left. Bob Gibson tells Joe Torre that he's seen enough. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Rick Kemp coming in for Larry Williams. Nick Williams. This game is coming to you from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. So Rick Camp, who will eventually be a starter, is making his 13th relief appearance of the year. He is 3-1 with 2 saves and a 3.86 ERA. His last appearance earned him a win, a 2-inning stint 9 days ago, of all things, against St. Louis. 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He's only allowed 2 home runs on the year. He walked 1 and didn't strike out anybody. In 16 1/3 innings, he's allowed 15 hits, 2 home runs, 9 runs, 7 earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 8. And so as he takes his last warm-up tosses, Clinton Park says it'll be a good night tonight. It's always a good night, Clinton. Cutting out the pitching cards for 1980. You're doing that in Status Pro, right? Honey Bunny is going to reprint 1981 tomorrow. She's got cut the fast action cards and the naturalists tonight's movie on MLB Network. Yep, that's a good night for him. So Rick Camp is ready. And Pete Rose doubled his first time up and scored a second time up, scored a run, and also has a sacrifice bunt. Runner on first, nobody out, top of the fifth. Dernier goes, the throw down to Ramirez is not in time. So Pocaroba got a decent throw down there, but Dernier is just too quick. And so that's his 9th of the year and 2nd tonight. Camp throws to Hubbard, and Dernier is safe. But again, Rick Camp must not be able to hold anybody, because Dernier, you look at that, he's got a 76% chance of stealing third. Pitch to Rose, gets away from Pocaroba, and Dernier goes to third. Well, Mr. Little, if you're still watching, I can't imagine that this game will be listed on the Facebook group. The Atlanta Braves are playing like the 1981 version, not the 1982 one this evening. So it's a 2-0 count to Rose. Pitch from Camp, ball 4. So Pete walks on 4 pitches, and that'll bring up Mike Schmidt. He has singled twice and driven in 2. And now has 28 RBI on the year. Camp delivers, and there's a pop-up. Butler gets it to center field up with a sky-high fly ball. Danilo scoring the sacrifice, and it's now 6-0 Philadelphia. Still here for the moment. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this one's getting listed on the Facebook group. Not unless Atlanta can do something with it. Here's Gary Matthews, is 0 for 1 with an RBI. Sarge, sac fly in the 3rd, flew out to right in the 1st. Pitch from Camp. And that's a little looper that Murphy is going to try to dive for. And left, and he can't get it. Rose trucks on his way to 3rd. Matthews goes to 2nd as Murphy chases that one down. And right now, it's all Philadelphia. 6-0, 1 out, top the 5th. 2 on for Bo Diaz, who smashed one in the left center for a home run. He's 1 for 2. Camp delivers, and there's a ground ball to Ramirez, who throws home. Rose is going to run down. Pocaroba tags him out. So Pocaroba and Horner played pickle with him, and eventually Pocaroba swiped him with a tag. So 2 out. Matthews stays on 2nd, and Diaz is on 1st. Dramatics. Gary 1 for 2. His ball, I believe, is still orbiting around the metropolitan Atlanta area. I think that one headed for Marietta. So that was his 4th of the year, and now Gary has driven in 16. Pitch to Maddox is a ground ball right side. Chambliss to the bag himself, and that retires the side. 1 more run for the Phillies on 2 hits and no errors. Halfway home, it's the Phillies 6, the Braves 0. Why Condo? That sounds like a fun night, Dave. So 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Phillies have stranded 3. Atlanta got to Kruko in the 4th, but couldn't put anything on the board. They just had the 1 hit. So Pocaroba's 0 for 1. Kruko delivers, and that's a liner to right. Dernier makes the catch for the 1st out. So, a friend of the community has a question. I will throw this out there. If you are using Visual Basic, or you playing games on Excel, such as the NPMG Plus board reader or Above the Rim, he's trying to get Above the Rim to work on his machine. He is using Excel, and I believe all modern machines now are 64-bit. But he's getting a warning that it can't run. The game itself won't run. I opened up both versions I had today, and they opened up just fine. So, is there something he can download, or something maybe easy fix that one of you might know to run to get that updated for him? Above the Rim's a wonderful game. Anyway, it'll be Rafael Ramirez, Rick Camp, and Brett Butler. Ramirez is 0 for 1. Pitch from Kruko. Ball 4. So, Rick Camp has only thrown 21 of his expected 70 pitches. And since you're already down 18,000 runs, probably missing DOL files. That would be my guess, Clinton. Rose and Schmidt come in. Camp lays the bunt down. Diaz throws over to Trio, and the sacrifice works. So 2-4, and Ramirez has great speed on 2nd. And so we're going to do the hit and run with Butler. Brett is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Kruko threw 18 downers, 70 pitches, 4 2/3 innings, a hit allowed. No runs. He has walked 3 and struck out 4. And Atlanta's going to hit and run. There goes Ramirez, ground ball to Trio. Only play is to Rose, and Ramirez moves over to 3rd. And that retires the side. So I didn't need to do a hit and run with 2 outs. I pull a Jurius Familia. So after 5, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's still the Phillies 6, the Braves nothing. The trio de Jesus and Kruko will face Camp at the bottom of the 6th. Manny is 0 for 2. I'm going to ask Clinton, would you possibly know what that would be? I suppose I could look it up. Pitch to Manny, ground ball. Ramirez by the bag at second. Long throw to Chambliss for the out. And that's how the 6th starts. Camp is only allowed 2 base runners in his inning in the 3rd, so he's not pitching batting practice like Larry McWilliams was. De Jesus is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch from Rick. Fly ball to right. Washington comes in, 2 out. So here comes Mike Kruko, 1 for 2. He has singled and scored in this game. Pitch from Camp. Fly ball to center. Back goes Butler to the track, and he retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. A 1-2-3 inning. First time the Phillies haven't gotten on the board. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the Phillies 6. The Braves nothing. Hubbard, Washington, and Murphy go up. And since my guy that watches on mute during the day missed Skip Carey's last appearance in the booth, Skip is meandering over and will probably make an appearance in the next inning or 2. So here's Hubbard. He's 1 for 2. He's got a single. And there's a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Will Hubbard go up for 2? No, he will not. And so the Braves get their 2nd hit of the game. And then I'll bring up Claudell Washington. Hubbard on first. Washington is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball right to De Jesus. Only play is to first, and Washington beats it out. And so after retiring the first 10 batters, Kruko now has struggled. The scoreboard still has a bunch of bagels on it. You get a package of lenders if he gets out of this inning unscathed, but right now, Kruko has really struggled in the middle innings. Murphy's 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. Here's the pitch, and that gets away from Diaz. It does not get scored as a wild pitch because the smart viewer, I believe, Mark corrected me the other day. I had a runner that did not advance on a pitch that got away from the catcher. The computer signaled wild pitch. I called it a wild pitch. But there is no wild pitch if the runner does not advance. Still a ball, and the count now is full to Murphy. Kruko delivers, struck him out. He swung on and missed an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, and there's 1 out for Horner. It was 0 for 1 with a walk. Horner flew out to deep right in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. So 6-0 Philadelphia here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. There's a base hit in the left center. Hubbard motors around and holds at 3rd. No, yep, he's going to hold at 3rd. Again, Philadelphia kind of getting lax out there. Matthews should have gotten that ball. He took a late jump and they're loaded for Chambliss. This one may end up on Facebook after all. Chambliss is 0 for 2. He was popped to short and flown out to left. Here's the pitch. Base is loaded. Fly ball to right. Dernier comes in, makes the catch. Will Hubbard tag? No. Not with 2 outs. He only had a 59% chance of scoring. Dernier does not have the world's best arm, but you do not want to make the last out at the plate, even if it is Dick Cocoroga. Biff is grounded to 2nd and lined out to right. Hubbard on 3rd, Washington on 2nd, and I believe it's Murph on 1st. 6-0 Philadelphia. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. It's Horner on 1st, and everybody's going to stay right there as Kruko got him on an 0-2 pitch on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors. After 6, At the launching pad, it's still Philadelphia 6, Atlanta nothing. The other suggestion, okay, this is for King Nikaboo if he's watching this. Other suggestion is he delete the game and reload. If he tries to set it up his own folder, it may cause the game not to run. Clinton, it's an Excel spreadsheet. It's not its own application. It's an Excel spreadsheet. If that makes any difference. I think Harper Seth goes to either Philadelphia or Washington overpays to keep it. I thought he was going to San Diego, but they're not signing both Harper and Machado. So it'll be Bob Dernier, Pete Rose, and Mike Schmidt. Dernier 1 for 2. Has scored twice, stolen 2 bases, walked once, and struck out once. He's had a busy day. And George Vukovic will pinch hit for him? No. Oh yeah, because he doesn't hit righties. So George Vukovic, the lefty, is at 164 on the year, the homer, 2 RBI. All right. I'll suggest that to put it on another folder and see if it'll launch, but it is Excel, so I'll take a look because I've never seen that before. I mean, pitch from camp, and Vukovic hits that one up the middle, gets past Hubbard, and that's a base hit. So Vukovic, with the right call there, that's a 9th hit for the Phillies. And here's Pete Rose. Rose is a sacrifice bunt, a walk, and a double with a run scored. Lots of ones for Pete. Pitch from camp, popped up, Chambliss goes into foul territory and can't get it. So 2-2. Pitch to Rose, ball 4. So runners on first and second, Camp starting to tire. And here is Mike Schmidt. He's driven home 3 today. He has singled twice. He's 2 for 2. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball to left. Back goes Murphy, and that's off the wall. Vukovic will score. Rose will come around third. Throw is cut off. Rose will score. Schmidt gets 2 more RBI, and it's 8-0 Philadelphia. And Joe Torre would love to let Camp in. Remember, if you look up there on the right, he'll bat second here in the bottom of the 7th. So here's the Sarge. Gary Matthews 1 for 2, a double and an RBI. Camp delivers a fly ball to center. Butler is there. Schmidt throws back to 10. The throw goes in the infield, 1 out. For Bo Diaz, who launched one into left center for his home run. 8-0 Phillies. Here's the pitch. Diaz, ground ball to Hubbard. They'll take the sure out at first. 8-9 doesn't really matter at this point. And Diaz is retired. 2 out. For Gary Maddox, who's 1 for 3. He put one in the upper deck into left center as my cat squirms around under my blanket. So Gary's 1 for 3. That was his 4th homer of the year. 9-0 Phillies. Pitch from Camp, and there's a ground ball up the middle. Ramirez cuts it off by the bag at second. Over the canvas for the out. That retires. It's stretch time, and I'm not singing again. 3 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. You got to be a diehard now to be watching. It's the Phillies 9, the Braves nothing. And it's Mike Krukow has 100 pitches, and Rafael Ramirez steps to the plate. Here is Skip Terry. I'm not sure I can do Skip. Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't think I can do Skip tonight. My voice is just a little bit off. But Clinton, if you go back and watch the last time I had the Braves on, I did some Skip for you, and that went pretty well. Ramirez walked. He's 0 for 1. Pitch from Krukow. And here's a liner in the right field. Vukovic is now in right. He's a 5 and a 7. And Ramirez has a single. 5th hit tonight for Atlanta. And Rick Camp will be pinch hit 4. Righty. Look at the right column run. I don't remember Ken Smith. He's 3 for 15 on the year. He hits righties at a 293 clip. He's a left-handed hitter. Let's see what happens. Combat Painter, how are you? Good to have you along. Wish this was a closer game. Here's Ken Smith. Kruko delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Vukovic is in right center, makes the catch with Ramirez, retreats back to first, and there's one out. So I can't imagine that Kruko's going to go the distance. He's due to bat third in the eighth. Through 27 batters, he's thrown 106 pitches, 6 in the third innings, 5 hits, no runs, walked 3 and struck out 6, including Brett Butler once. Brett is 0 for 3. Pitch from Kruko, ball 4. So runners on first and second. And here's Glenn Hubbard, he's 2 for 3. So you know what? Let's see, Hubbard could bunt here. I'm not going to do it. He's 2 for 3. Kruko paying no attention to Ramirez at second. Here's and Diaz will go out and chat with him. Here's the pitch to Hubbard. Fly ball left center. Maddox on the track makes the catch. Ramirez will not test Maddox's arm. He only had a 48% chance of getting the third. So 2 out for Claudell Washington. Claudell 1 for 3. Singled and struck out. This is a game that's just not... Atlanta has stranded 7. They're in danger now of stranding 2 more. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball to right. Vukovic has it. Net does retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 7, 9-0 Philadelphia. So who can we burn now? I'm not going to burn Herboski. Preston Hanna. Old friend of the Braves. That sounded more like Kermit than Skid Carey. Preston is 2-0 on the year, the 6.07 ERA. 29 2/3 innings, 36 hits. 6 homers, 15 walks, and 18 strikeouts. All out of the pen. This is his 15th appearance. He's done for the year on June 29th, at least with Atlanta. He threw 3 days ago against the Expos, threw 3 innings. A hit, he walked 2 and struck out 2. That gives him 15 walks and 18 strikeouts. And lowered his ERA to 6.07. So Manny Trio's 0 for 3. Hanna delivers, and he greets him with a fly ball to shallow left. Murphy's there, 1 out. So California and Detroit tomorrow at 1. And then I chat with ID Jester tomorrow night at 7, right here on Retro Sports Network. Avon De Jesus is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Hanna delivers, and there's a pop-up. Center field, that was more than a pop-up. Butler's got it, 2 out. So it's 87 degrees here in hot Atlanta, with the wind now blowing in from right field at 7 miles an hour. Let's see what the Phillies do here with Kruko. Mike is 1 for 3. He's got a single and run scored. And Greg Gross will come in to pinch hit. Greg at 278 with 4 RBI. Hanna's pitch. And there's a base hit into right field. Washington does not get it easily, and Gross is on with a single. This has not been a great effort by the Atlanta Braves. Although they've made no errors, the pitching has not been good, the defensive effort has not been good, and the Phillies have scored in all but 1 inning so far. Here's Vukovic. He came in the game for Bob Dernier and then promptly hit a single and scored. Pitch to George up the middle, and that's a base hit. So Ramirez and Hubbard converged, but the ball was already in the grass. And that brings up Pete Rose, who has walked twice, bunted, scored twice, doubled. 1 for 1. Runners in the corners, 9-0 Philadelphia. Here's the pitch, and Rose hits that one on the ground towards Chambliss. He flips over to Hanna to retire the side. So Sid Monkey comes in, and Monkey We played 7.5. It's the Phillies 9, the Braves nothing. Yeah, no, Preston Hanna was, you could see from the hat with the 78 starter. Don't feel bad. Starting the style of Vin Scully and end up finishing like Bob. Uecker is a pretty good announcer. Yeah, I don't know, I'm a little stuffy or old. Like I did parry, not overly well, but enough to pass it off and give him some wrestling skills. I always hated it when the Braves were on Game of the Week because you saw them all the time anyway. That was the whole point of the Superstation. Especially, you know, as a fan of American League Baseball, the two teams that we got on cable were all National League teams. Eventually we got the Cubs too. So we got the Cubs, the Mets, and the Braves. And I was a Red Sox fan. I was for the DH, and rooting for the DH wasn't cool. Oh wait, that's 2019. So Dale Murphy, as I said, is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice and walked once. And Sid, which I'll give you the numbers in a minute, gives up a fly ball to left. Matthews will watch it go foul. Sid's ERA is under 1. It's at 0.98. He's 0-1 on the year. 18 innings, 14 hits. This is his 14th relief appearance, and his hair looks pretty good. Unlike his days with the Indians. He pitched last night against these Braves and gave up a run on 2 hits, but the run was unearned as part of that crazy comeback from Atlanta. Actually took a loss last night, so good for 60 pitches. 1-2 to count to Murphy. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left center. Maddox retreats back to the track, but that's not a threat to go when there's 1 out. Bob Horner's 1 for 2. He has walked and singled. Pitch from Sid is ball 4. So here's Chris Chambliss. Chris is 0 for 3. Having a great year. So if this holds, Atlanta falls to 19-21 after their first 40 games. And Los Angeles already has a healthy lead in the National League West. Pitch to Chris, ground ball to third. Schmidt only plays the Rose at first. Chambliss running. Got him. Bang, bang play. How you doing, Stratton, Delaware? Stratton, Delaware, the guest of ID Jester last night. And I've got ID on my channel tomorrow night at 7. Biff Pocoroba is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Runner on second is Bob Horner. 9-0 Philadelphia. 2 out, bottom of the 8th. A pitch to Biff, and there's a fly ball to Matthews and left that will go foul. Someone from Smyrna gets themselves a souvenir. Count is full, 3-2. Mungie from the wine. Popped up. Trio calls for it. Manny's got it. And now retires aside. Nothing across for Atlanta. Preston Hanna comes back out for his second inning. It's 9-0 Philadelphia. Yep, give that like button the people's thumb. That sounds kind of dirty. Mike Schmidt has been filthy today. 3 for 3. He's singled twice, double, driven in 5 for 31 on the year. Hanna delivers, and Schmidt puts that one in the gap in that center. That's up the bases. Butler throws it back in, and Schmidt's in with a double. So he's 4 for 4. And that brings up Gary Matthews, who's 1 for 3 with a double. If you're a Phillies fan, this one's for you. And if you're a Braves fan, they're not on next week. Pitch to the Sarge is a fly ball to right center. Back goes Butler. Makes the catch. Schmidt will go back and tag and hold. 1 out for Bo Diaz. 87 degrees. Winds blowing in it from 7 from right field. Ernie Johnson Sr. is in the radio booth, and the shirt's kind of unbuttoned, and he and Skip are having a good time and knocking down some sponsored sudsy product. Pitch to Bo. Ground ball, base hit left side. Murphy picks it up. Schmidt will hold it third. And Schmidt's going to try and score. Murphy loads up the throw. They're going to try for Schmidt at the plate, and it's not in time. So Diaz goes to second. Poker got the tag in, but it wasn't close. So a 10 spot for the Phillies. Gary Maddox at the plate. Gary's 1 for 4. Gary put one in the second or third deck in left center. I mean, that pitch was stung off the starter, Larry McWilliams. Hanna delivers, and Maddox hit this one on the right side. Chambliss flips it to Preston for the out. So Diaz goes to third, and there's 2 outs. So it's Rafael Ramirez, a pinch hitter, and who knows what. Uh-oh. Mark Forsberg. That's the one who was telling me about the wild pitch. So the pitch to Trio is over 4, strike 3. So Hannon finishes his batting with a strikeout. A run on 2 hits and no errors. And I'll go back to see how I botched the pronunciation there. It doesn't matter. It's Elsid, and he's going to pitch to Ramirez. He's 1 for 2 with the walk. Got himself a single. And there's a fly ball to Maddox in center, 1 out. So Preston Hanna did yeoman's work. 36 pitches for him. And with a lefty on the mound, who hits lefties? Jerry Royster at 259, no homers, 5 RBI. That is a good stack card sitting on the shelf because I love red white. That is a fun game. I wish I could play that. If there was a game I really wish that had some sort of Excel helper, it is that. I've been watching Rob with the apostrophe, Dinah's cousin from another mother, play that and strat, and I'm not a racing fan, but that looks really fun. And I just really can't do a proper cards and dice game. Between the cat and my limited physicalness, it just isn't done. Now, yes, it did. Yes, it did. But then again, Chris, sometimes you just need a good spark plug to get things moving. Here's Royster. He's pinch hitting at 259 with 5 RBI. Pitch is a ground ball, base hit past Trio. And Atlanta has a hit here. That's I'm not touching that. And careful, sometimes there are kids in the chat, especially at night. We'll let that go. And it is a nice number, but let's be careful with the innuendos, okay? Brett Butler is 0 for 3. He has walked and struck out. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm splitting. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. And yep, and there's nothing wrong with an office reference or 9. I get that one off all the time. And bada bing, bada boom. Match reference. Movie or the TV show? We're all kids at heart. That's why we're doing this. Brett Butler, did I tell you about him? Yeah, he's 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Runner on first, 1 out. 10-0 Philadelphia. Got him! He swung on and missed, and it's now last chance time for Atlanta. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for Philadelphia. They have stranded 6. Atlanta, no runs, 6 hits, no errors. And they've stranded 10. We will not do the rundown for Saturday after this game because tomorrow is a Saturday game as well. Angels who have slumped and the Tigers who are not. Tomorrow at noontime right here on Retro Sports Network. Hubbard is 2 for 4 and it's a fly ball into right. Back goes Vukovic and that's gone. That's in the seats in right field. And so Hubbard hit that one into a 7-mile-an-hour wind, and now it's 10-2, and poor Sid just sits there and mops his brow. Let's watch it again. The wind is blowing into right, or from right at 7, but it's 88 degrees, and look at us just couldn't do anything about that. So old Mother Hubbard scores on her own, and that'll bring up Claudell Washington, who was 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Action PC is sold by Dave Koch Sports and shop at shop.dksports.com. The real racing starts in Atlanta. I don't like restricted places. It's the movie, okay. Yep, Clinton Parsons right. My friend is one of the greatest Mac programmers in the world. And he puts it best. We all have the inner 13-year-old. Yeah, OTP pretty good too. That's awesome. I don't know. Oh. Yeah. I don't know why I haven't made this a mod. So, all right. Check his back. Here's Washington, 1 for 4 with the strikeout, and he got hit. Now, that one did look intentional, and cooler heads prevailed, but Munjay should be gone. That's one thing. If you hit somebody after, giving up a tater, that should be an automatic fight in the game. And so Washington is still barking at him from first base. And I don't know why the umpire just didn't toss him. Probably because the umpire is trying to cool off because it's muggy. Here's Murph. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And now the Braves are hooting and hollering from the top step. Pitch to Murph. Ball 4. And Washington just is chirping at him all the way down to second. For Bob Horner, who doesn't say very much. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. 10-2. No, it would be Joe Torre in 1982. Didn't see Combat Painter. So Horner, with runners on first and second, can at least make this interesting. Diaz goes out to calm down Sid. Washington is still running his mouth. Pitch to Horner, ball 4. And so the bases are loaded for Chris Chambliss. And so this crowd, or what's left of it, is now on its feet. Okaroba is on deck, but if the game should be extended, remember, there are 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. He won't hit. So Chambliss is 0 for 4. Washington on third. Still going at it with Sid. Murphy on second. Horner on first. They're loaded. Here's the pitch. And it gets away from Diaz. Washington scores. Everybody moves up. 90 on the wild pitch. And Washington just did not shut up all the way to the dugout. Muncie thought he was being cute. And instead, it just rattled the daylights out of him. It's 10-3. So 1-0 to count to Chambliss, who's 0 for 4. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left center. Maddox wins the game for Philadelphia. He makes the catch. They got interesting and dicey here in the 9th, but the Phillies prevail 10-3. Well, Clinton, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, but it's true. You know, that's one of those win progression charts there. The Braves were at .01. So the Phillies win this one 20-19. And this one was pretty much over from the 4th inning on. Bo Diaz and Gary Maddox with 2 solo shots between them. 5-0 in the 4th. Atlanta didn't even get a base runner on the first 3 innings. And Glenn Hubbard with a 2-run homer in the 9th off of Sid. And then the fireworks hit, and Atlanta got 1 more run. So 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Phillies. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Atlanta. Mike Krukow was your winner. 7 innings, 5 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 6. And Sid will get spoken to by the league office. I'm sure he'll get a visit from the league president, Larry Giles, tomorrow. Larry McWilliams goes to a deserved 0-4, 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, all earned, the 2 homers. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Rick Camp, he gave up the 3 runs, but he ate 3 innings. And then Preston Hanna, 2 innings, 4 hits, a run was earned. He struck out 1. It took us 3 out. No, it didn't. Not even close. Don't even go there. There's Mike Schmidt. He went 4 for 4 with 5 RBI. And our Miller Lite player of the game is Mike Krukow. I'm making executive decision. Krukow fell apart after the 3rd inning. He didn't give up a run, but he didn't pitch great either. So Mike Schmidt, drive in 5 runs, you get to be our player of the game. Tomorrow, as I go on camera, we'll be with you at noontime for the Slumping Angels and the Detroit Tigers. And then I can tell you, however, we are coming up next week for baseball. The Tuesday afternoon game is going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let Beatles eternally know that we'll have the Pirates for you. The primetime game next week. Holy cow, it's the Dodgers and the Cubs from Wrigley Field. And then on Thursday afternoon, doubleheader, Toronto and Baltimore. So those are the games we got for you next week. Tomorrow, the Angels and the Tigers. And, of course, ID Jester is with you, with me Thursday night at 7. And Friday, I got a couple videos when I got to do and one I've already done. So no game video on Friday, but some instructional stuff. And so smash that like button. And for all of us at Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett. Thanks again. We'll talk to you tomorrow.